What's up, everybody? Welcome to Candid Conversations. Your host, Kyra. Hope everybody had a beautiful, lovely day. We are here on time today. Go figure. All right, let's get this party started. Let's bring on Mr. Boshawn Davis, the one with the opinions and the facts and the statistics.
I love that you
Mr.
said.
Sean.
Hey, I love that you said the facts. Let's do it. I love that you said the facts, though. I love that you said the facts. I'm good with that. We can end the show now. We can end it. You said the facts. We can end the show. We can get up out of here. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Good to be with you. Good to be here. Get my boy on. Let's get my boy on.
All right, everybody. Y'all know we don't do this without the one, the only, the Deacon.
Yeah. And before you do anything, I just want to say congratulations to you.
Who?
To the Deacon. Congratulations to you on your nuptials, on your union. I appreciate you. It was a beautiful day. It's a beautiful time. I think you did a beautiful job. I wish you the best. I wish you nothing but happiness, love, purity, everything that goes along with it. I love and respect you, and I just wish you the best.
I appreciate that, brother.
Aww.
That was beautiful.
He took the words right out of my mouth.
Because I was coming on hot. I was coming on trying to figure out when did Kyra turn to Miss Cleo.
First of all, that's
call me now.
You so stupid. First of all,
she's like, hello, everybody.
That's my best friend.
Hello, everybody. This is Kyra. Welcome to Candid Conversations.
Sean is out of pocket.
You just took my special moment. Just took it and flipped it and bounced it. Well, I respect you. I'm happy that you allowed me to be there.
What he does.
I appreciate that you allow me to be there to see it and witness it, and I appreciate you. And I wish you the best.
Being there. I appreciate y'all being there. Like I said, it was it meant a lot. The people that was there, it meant a lot to me that they were there. That y'all was there, especially as my my partners, we do this thing for real, weekly, and the respect that we portray here on the show gets overly magnified in real life. So I really appreciate that y'all were there, that y'all was there to witness one of the happiest days of my life, and I got to share that with y'all, which I wouldn't have it be any other way. Some people don't look at, our relationships that are put as podcast co-hosts, the relationships that have been, people don't take that regard and be like, you know what? Yeah, I rock with them for real. But I'm grateful that y'all are not just my peoples on Tuesday nights at 9:00, but y'all my peoples in real life. So I appreciate that.
Respect.
All right, now we gonna cut this out.
We can't be vulnerable. That's what you're trying to tell us.
I don't do them with
That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying.
That's exactly what I just said. We ain't doing that tonight.
Yeah, we got opportunity. We're spacing opportunity. Anybody watching?
I done said what I had to say. I'm about to change that, right? Because they so used to our answers being late, they ain't used to us being on time.
They said, "Oh Lord!"
In about 15 minutes, our balls gonna be all over the place.
They have to come back and catch it.
But it's all right. We thankful. Exactly, because baby, we are time today. But I love you, Derek. Y'all, I'm sorry, I'm eating. That's rude. I just haven't eaten all that. So let's get down to the nitty gritty and get on to this topic. And tonight's topic is why men find it hard to be vulnerable. And I'm not a man.
We starting off the conversation, or we going into video?
Of course. We're gonna do the video. Give me a second. So I'm not a man. I'm not gonna have too much input, but I will be asking 5,001 questions because, according to my cousin Sean, I'm a rebellious soul.
What that got to do with anything? That ain't got nothing to do with that.
Well, we all know that.
We just want to say some stuff.
I'm a rebellious soul. I am going to be throwing all types of mix in the mix.
Yeah, well, my answer is going to be long.
Let's start. Derek, let's start the conversation with a clip.
I felt like I didn't have that vulnerable place, man. You know, like some women will be receptive to that, dog. And some women think you a sucker, you a punk. You know what I mean? Like not knowing, like, bro, like if you really knew me, like for real, you wouldn't even be on that. Like at the end of the day, like when it go down, right. Yo, I'm playing for keeps, man. Right, yeah. But you feel like sometimes you can't show that side because they won't respect you at the end of the day. You let a tear drop, man. You have that soft moment where you like, man, I just need to lay my head in your lap. And I felt like I couldn't do that. So the only emotion that started feeling good to me was anger, man. Like I could deal with that. So like the anger was more acceptable. It was more acceptable than you crying. Than me crying. The times that I wanted to cry ended up me punching a hole in the wall. Me punching a hole in the door.
That was unsuccessful.
Damn, he said he was punching holes in walls and doors and shit. Like that's crazy business. So Derek and Sean, let us know why men find it hard to be vulnerable. Is it true what he said? What the man in the clip said? That some women don't know how to receive men's vulnerability? How did he?
That's very much accurate. Some women don't know how to receive men's vulnerability, but beyond that, it's a trust factor. And a lot of times, and today, men can't trust that a man can't trust a woman with his vulnerability, because the moment I have to switch hats and not be vulnerable or put my foot down as a man, you try to throw my vulnerability in my face as a way of degrading or bringing me down. So we find ourselves, men find themselves keeping that vulnerable piece to themselves, or feeling it, or allowing it only to the sacred few who they feel respect them enough, and who they respect enough that they say, okay, I can be vulnerable around this person without this person throwing it back in my face. And sadly, most of those people that's in that circle, most times aren't your significant other, or yeah, they're not. Most times they're not your significant other.
Has that happened to you where you've been vulnerable with someone and they took took it and threw it back in your face?
Yeah, you always run across certain situations, and sometimes you do it. Sometimes women are so um unconscious of it, unaware of it, that they do it and don't even realize that they're doing it. And then they were like, "Well, I didn't mean it like that," or I wasn't coming from that place. I wasn't coming from that space." But it just it's just how it comes out because it's a natural. It's just a natural thing. It's like once y'all get defensive or y'all get into that place of defense, all as one of my friends said, there's no rules to war. So once you become defensive, whatever I need to level the playing ground, I will use it. And that's what you find a lot of times. Women use those moments.
Okay.
Like
Sean, what
for
about you?
example,
Derek was finished.
oh, I'll just use it for example. Even something as light as y'all remember that episode of Martin back in the day when Martin was talking about being a man, and Gina came home because he tried to play her, he tried to downplay her on TV. I mean on radio, and she waited. She got in front of all his boys and was like, you cried watching Bambi."
Oh yeah, yeah. I
It's just
remember that.
it's a natural thing. It's just when there's an opportunity to to level the playing field of saying, okay, you want to be so male and you want to be so macho and you want to put your foot down, but you can't put your foot down here because I know this and I know that and I'll put that out there. Men just choose not to say anything. You don't get that part of me because I can't trust you with it. I,
I,
Okay.
I think it's very
I don't got anything to say. Sure.
I know damn well you ain't gonna understand. Um
Listen, don't tempt me.
I would say I totally agree. But I'll take it to a point to where it's twofold. Um as a child and as an adult. As a child, as a young male child, whenever we screw up, we fall, we don't do good in sports or whatever, we're always told to man up. We're always told to get up, be quiet, don't cry, you know. So we're groomed and trained, as a young person that you're not supposed to be vulnerable. And to be honest, where does that come from? That come from the teachings of the older men because of maybe what they've been through. So you can fall down as a young child, a young male child, and they'll tell you to not cry, get up, do it again. What are you doing? Ain't no crying in football. We don't cry. We don't do this. We don't like, and it's the thing of where it got to where it's normal now. So whereas a young person, whether you're in grade school or in high school, where you have to basically hide your feelings to think that that's what a man is. So you got a lot of men out here not knowing how to deal with their vulnerability and their feelings and emotions because they was never taught how to deal with them. Where I talk to my children and let them know, like, hey, if you feel away, and my statement to them, and Kyra, you can ask both of my sons. I tell them both. You can be upset, You can feel away, but you can't be disrespectful. But any way that you feel, you can talk to me about how you feel about anything. And I'll give you, my insight as your dad, not just as an adult, as your dad, because not everybody wants you to be better than them besides your dad. Not every man. I mean, like, men are very competitive. They're very competitive. I mean, but I want my children, my male children, my young boys to be better than me. I mean, so I give them all the tools, all my thought process, everything. I mean, to make sure that they can make the right decision and be good decision makers. They can be good husbands. They can be good fathers. They can be good friends. They can be good whatever I want them to be. So they can make the right decisions and even give the right insight and advice to their friends and family. Now, the opposite side of that coin is in a relationship.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
All right, so I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Were you raised to be a vulnerable child in order to
define what that is, so I know how to answer you correctly?
What you was taught in order to be vulnerable?
Did I have to unlearn, you said?
Yeah, like some of the things that you were taught as a child growing up in order to say, I want my sons to be able to express themselves and yada yada.
I didn't catch that until I was raised in a way of, a child being a man as a child, when there's no way for you to really understand that. I mean, children have very high, emotions, whether they're masculine or feminine, whatever way we choose to, unpack that. Because mothers are the teachers of the children, right? They're the nurturers. I mean, we're more of the disciplinarians and showing you how to provide and protect. And protect is not just the physicalities of things. I mean, your fisticuffs, it's not just that. I got to teach you how to protect feelings and how to protect, your vulnerability, protect, just how you present yourself to the world. I have to teach you that. I mean, we a lot of times we were taught that to protect your family is just the physical, and if somebody come in, we got to handle it. No, we got to know how to protect just our girls going outside the home, and how we're going to handle that. Because anything that happens, it's our job as men to protect. Just the same as providing. Providing is not just, a monetarily thing. It's not just money, to provide. It's not just that. I mean, but for me to get back into what I was talking about, as far as with a man being vulnerable, it's hard to be, and this is where I 100% agree with the deacon. It's hard for a man to be vulnerable with a woman when they were betrayed with their vulnerability. If I tell you, if I'm giving you my feelings and giving you my emotions, and you tell me, oh, you ain't this and you ain't that, like I was told, as a man, you ain't SHIT and you ain't never gonna be HSIT. I was told that as a professional man on my grind, just because maybe some people fight with their words. It may not have been a thing of you really wanting to hurt me, but this is just how you fight. And this is just how you know how to fight. So now, the one thing that I know for men, you got one time to challenge my vulnerability. And you may not ever see that again. You may not ever see that again, because that's not my job is to provide and protect in a household, but I don't look at you to be my competitor. And that's where a lot of people fail to realize, fighting with the tongue, that tongue is powerful. It's venom. You know what I mean? So when you're trying to win a battle, or you're trying to win an argument, or you're trying to win a fight, and you're starting to speak ill like that, you may mess up your the dialogue that you have with a man. You may mess that up to whereas he'll never trust you again. And we hear it all the time, but we act like because it's men, we don't have to pay attention to it. Because from a child, like I said, Derek, and if you can agree with me, as a child, we're told to, get up, do it again, handle your business. So we're just supposed to just take this abuse, which I don't agree with, because that tongue is like a sword. Some people use it. Some people use it to hurt you. And I'm not in a household or in a relationship for you to hurt and abuse me to win an argument. So now when you tell me I ain't this, I ain't that, you ain't never gonna be this, nobody ain't never gonna want you, why would I want to be vulnerable and share my passion and my purpose and everything with you, especially if I'm telling you some things that harm me and hurt me? Why would I want to share that with you moving forward? I'll never do it again.
I can agree with that.
And with that person, I wouldn't want to do it either. I never did it again.
I can agree with you on that.
Yeah, I never did it again. They never got that vulnerability from me.
A vulnerable man?
You asking me, do I feel that I'm a vulnerable man? I'm an open book. I the one thing that I know about myself.
Do you feel like if you get into another relationship,
Dad, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask the question.
I'm sorry. Do you feel like if you get into another relationship, would you be able to be vulnerable?
Yes, absolutely. Because I'm not one, and I don't talk, I don't talk about my business, but I'm not one to drag one thing into the other. I'm not going to allow it anyway. If me being in a relationship and going into another relationship, before I get into another relationship, I'm going to make sure that, I'm cleansed, to make sure that I'm not dragging one thing into the other, because that's a huge mistake that a lot of us do. A lot of us don't know how to be alone because we don't understand there's a difference between being lonely and being alone.
Yeah.
They don't understand that aspect. I mean, you don't have to be, you're not a lonely person because right now you choose to be alone. So you gotta, you gotta cleanse and heal. And a lot of us don't heal the right way.
Facts.
Yeah, we don't heal the right way. We just moving because it feels right at the moment. And sometimes, we listen to those statements, the right way to get over somebody is get under somebody else. No, that's not the way that works. You're dragging one thing into another thing. I would never give that type of advice to somebody. You have to heal and get yourself back to a place to where you can give somebody your all. But when somebody tells me that I ain't SHIT and I ain't never going to be that, I ain't this, I ain't that, it's going to be extremely hard for me to ever be vulnerable with that person again, which I probably never will, because you already betrayed my trust. And people look over that when it's men, because men are always told to suck it up and get back up and do what you're supposed to do. Like, we don't feel that. And it's hard not to feel that from our partners, because you're the one that's supposed to protect me as well. Just because I'm a man don't mean that as a woman, you're not supposed to protect me and protect my feelings.
All right now. Mr. Watson, you are raising 3 handsome young men. So what do you do to help them navigate to be more vulnerable as they get older?
You don't navigate to be vulnerable, because vulnerability is number one. Vulnerability is a dangerous thing to be, right? If someone came to me with a gun and I didn't have a gun to meet them with, I'm vulnerable, right? It's dangerous. It can be dangerous. I'm teaching my boys to be open and honest with themselves, being available to express how they truly feel with no regard to how somebody else may take it. My truth is my truth, and how I feel matters. But understanding that today, when a man says how I feel matters, he's now zesty,
Sassy.
right? Like he's sassy, he's zesty. Oh, but no, my feelings, and I'm not gonna let you or your toxic nature tell me otherwise, anything less than the fact that how I feel matters. The same way as I'm a human, you're a human. We're both human. We're both we're both by nature human, right? So by nature, you have feelings, and by nature, I have feelings. The only difference is, as Roshan so eloquently stated, we've been taught to put our feelings away because, and I think as old boy was sharing in the video, now you have people who don't know how to deal with or how to accept someone sharing their truth, or sharing how they feel. You have people who don't know how to, and because I can't handle it, it makes me uncomfortable, and in my uncomfort, I walk away because I don't know how to handle the situation. I can't handle your vulnerability or your openness or your truth. So I'm teaching my boys to be okay with those that walk away because they can't handle your truth. Because if they can't handle your truth, then they definitely can't handle your reality.
That's the truth. Amen. 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 I can agree to that.
Now let me ask you. Let me ask you, as a woman, before you do that, let me ask you as a woman, how do you feel? How do you feel as a woman about men feeling like they can't be vulnerable? And why? Why don't they feel that way?
I mean, I think that it's kind of I don't think that is right. I think that a man should definitely be able to be vulnerable in his relationship. He should express he feels to a woman that he is with, and she should respect that. And she should respect his feelings, and she should help him if it's, or try to understand where he's coming from. And if it's because of her, he's feeling the way that he's feeling, it should be a change. It should be a shift. So I don't have a problem with vulnerability. I think that everybody should be able to speak their minds and have their emotions, and it be dealt with delicately, and not make him feel like he's less than because he's crying or, he's telling you how he's feeling. Yeah, nah. I want to know how you feel.
Have you ever heard that a man is soft because he's vulnerable? Have you ever heard that?
It.
All right. Got another video, right?
I've heard it. No, I don't think that a man is soft because vulnerable or whatever. Because I think, if anything, a man is strong for showing his vulnerability. Because I know it take a lot more for a man to say so than it is for women to express themselves all the time in every way possible, in public and private. We all over the damn place. We don't have a problem with expressing, how we feeling. But for a man, I think it's a little bit harder because they want to look like they're the leader, and they don't want the woman, or if you have children, to look at them less than that's what they are if they cry or if they speak their mind. So I think it's more of a strength than it is a weakness.
It's more than I think also is more than a strength. I mean, it's more than, because a man who has done the work and knows how to effectively share how they feel is a dangerous thing to a woman. Because a man who has that kind of control to be able to openly share how they feel and what makes them react to certain things, and can express that to you in a way that's productive. First of all, any man who can do that, number one, is going to hold a woman to that same standard. And most women lack that big A word, where they will not allow themselves to be held to that same standard.
What's that A word?
I ain't gonna say it because your grasses grew back good in your lawn, and I don't want nobody to come back for you.
That'll be your grass this time.
But that letter, that the A word, that's striking for some women. They ready. Even Kyra gets a little irritable with that word.
Really?
I don't get irritable with that word. So don't be throwing me in no damn mix. I don't get irritable with that
word. That word come out, people they get defensive immediately. It's a tit for tat.
I don't have a problem with accountability. I have a problem with assholes.
We got another video, right? We got another video, right?
I don't know why y'all trying to test me tonight on this podcast.
I ain't saying nothing.
Y'all better leave me alone.
Mm-mm.
Yes, we have another video. Let's roll it.
One of the things that we don't talk about culturally is that a lot of women do not know how to be with or receive or see a man's vulnerabilities. For a lot of women, it's very frightening. It's foreign. Imagine being a woman who grew up around a grandfather and a father who never cried, who never opened up, who never talked about their feelings. And then all of a sudden, here's your husband or here's your boyfriend opening up, spilling his guts out emotionally, crying in front of you. And you're just like, what do I do with this? And so I've heard pretty bad stories where men have opened up to their girlfriends, and all of a sudden 2 months later their relationship's over, or the sexual attraction's gone, or the conversations suddenly get stilted.
All righty. So do you agree with the man. That some women don't know how to recognize or accept a man's vulnerability because that's not they haven't seen it, so they don't know what to do with it.
Who you talking to?
I asked a question. Are we sleeping today?
No, I just asked who you was talking to. I ain't know if you was directing it to somebody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't
Well,
know.
both of you.
I've seen that, of course. Like I said, I've been, in that situation. Whereas I wasn't I ain't cry or I ain't this or I ain't that. Not saying I never cried before, but once that happened, it was like you were attacked versus accepted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was, on top of my game. You know what I mean? Now, looking at, the video or what the gentleman said, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen these things. And I think, forums like this is very good when you see men talk about it, because a lot of times when men talk about certain situations, a lot of women act like we don't know what we talk about. You know what I mean? Like this is like we fantasizing, like it's a fantasy world that we're talking about. And we can talk about what we actually been through. And it can be like I've been on calls where it was, a lot of men speaking about it. And it'd be like, oh, well, not all women do that. When it's like, okay, we're talking about, you got 5,000 men saying the same thing. I mean, of course, it ain't all of this or all of that, but I've known that, like, from my family members, from exes that I've dealt with, to whereas it's just like sister friends, they use their mouth like a sword. And they'll tell you, you ain't this and you ain't that. And when we speak on it, it's like we're delusional. No, it's not. It's time. It's really time to speak on these things because it's a problem.
No, I don't think that y'all delusional. I do think that women do use their mouth as a sword. Because women can hit very harshly. I know at times I could say I'm guilty of it. I've done it because I'll go toe to toe with your ass. But
I would have never thought that.
I've learned it's not. Sean. But as you get older and you start to learn different ways to deal with things and people, it makes a difference. So I don't go toe to toe if I don't have to. But if you push that right button, don't blame with me. No, I'm serious though. I'm being serious now. But yeah, no. If it's the truth. Women do. Women can't hit below the belt a lot of the times in arguments or discussions or throw shit in your face that you done said to them, and it's not cool. I'm not saying it's cool by any means. It's not right. It's not fair to you men. But the shit do happen.
Yeah, and we're just supposed to take it.
Now, is there any coming back from that? I guess it all depends on the people that sent it.
With me, no. With certain things, when it depends on what it is, some things if it's something small or whatever, and we're talking about some nonsense. I mean, but when you talk about me as a man, you talking about my children, you talk about my family, there's no coming back from that. Because I trusted you. I trusted you with some information that was sacred to me that I would probably never tell somebody else. I would never tell anybody else this information. Right? I would never tell somebody else this information. And it was very hard for me to bring this information up to you anyway, you know, because we're vulnerable at this point. And instead of saying, you know what, let me love this man through this, let me walk with him through this, as soon as you get upset, you use it as a weapon. You'll never hear it again. You'll never get that moment again. It's over. And it ain't that I can't take it. And it's not,
with that.
before you say something, before you go, it ain't that I can't take it or deal with it, because you know me, like I'm a rider, like whatever, let's go. But I don't tell you these things, or I don't give you this information for you to use it against me. And I done seen it with some of my brothers. I seen it with, you know, with myself. I seen it with, you know, some of my friends. I seen it with a lot of people, you know, where we sit down and we talk about it, and people, you know, some women will use this information against you as a weapon. And it's just not right. And you'll never get that man.
Absolutely. But I do think that when you're in you have to have that, you have to have a good communication, and you have to be able to, because I know, like, and I can only speak for myself because I can't speak for other people. I can only speak for me.
Communication and context is different. Communication and context is different. You know what I mean? Like we can. I'm sorry. Yeah, my apologies.
But I feel like if I'm into something more than a heated discussion, if it becomes a heated discussion, then I get to that point where I'm gonna meet you right where you at. And sometimes it's a little nasty. But if they calm and we have actual conversation instead of an argument, then it don't go that far. But once you elevate your voice and you start yelling, then that does something to me, and I'm gonna meet you exactly where you at, and I'm gonna give you exactly what you asking for.
But where does the context shift is what I'm saying. Like we could let's say we argue. Right. Let's say we having a conversation about, you know, the bills or laundry or anything like that, and you know we're going at it, and I'm giving you my opinion, you're giving your opinion, and it's escalating, and the conversation is going. Now you want to attack my manhood. You want to, and it goes to, oh, that's why your children such and such, or that's why your penis ain't such. Like, y'all can go there. Y'all can go there. Like, why is it a reason to want to attack your person?
I said that we can take it there.
I said, what I'm asking, why? If this is a person that you're supposed to love and cherish and respect, the same, like Derek, the same that we're supposed to, you got married this weekend, the same way that we're supposed to honor, respect, and protect our woman. Why does honor, respect, and protection, excuse me, of your man go out of the window when you get upset?
Mm-hmm. Because it's about
let her rock. Let her rock. I want to hear this from her. Let her rock.
I had already explained it. It depends.
I want to hear it again.
This depends on what the argument is. Like I said, for me, once you start yelling, or I feel like you trying to take it there, I said I'm gonna meet you where you at, and sometimes it ain't gonna come out to be pretty. I will attack you. If I feel attacked, I'm attacking you back.
Let me ask you this. Can you agree that there's certain things, not even just in a relationship, but a friendship, there's certain things that should never be said? should never be said, regardless of how angry you get.
Wait, say that again.
Do you agree that no matter what we're going through and we're talking about, and no matter how angry you are, that there's some things that should never be said? It should never be said, regardless of how angry you get. Like my children is off limits.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that.
My
could definitely agree with that.
my family is off limits. All right. Let's say if I had the problem, your penis and all of that, like you can have it, because I know you like y'all know how y'all get to talk. I mean,
Yeah.
But certain things is just off limits. But because
Absolutely.
some people, no matter what, I'm gonna win this argument, and my job is to
That is
hurt you more than you hurted me, regardless if you pierced the skin in a way that was super disrespectful. You just didn't like it. Right? You just didn't like it. You didn't like the way I was skillful in carving you up. Now you like, oh, you won't come at me like that? Yeah, that's why your kids is some things that you should never say. Some things you should never.
I do believe that some things are off limits and should be said. Don't talk about my kids, because I'm telling you now, if you ever bring my kids
that's
up,
what me and Derek.
that's what feel like they're on the ground. That's gonna do something.
That's what me and Derek is talking about. We're not talking about ice cream and cake, and steak, and potatoes, and string beans. We're talking about when a man is vulnerable. He's talking about things that's very near and dear to his heart.
Yeah, no, I think
We don't care. Understand what I'm saying, cousin? We ain't worrying about all that other nonsense. You can have that. When we're talking about us as men being vulnerable, we're talking about us talking about things that's very, very near and dear to our heart. So when you jeopardize that, and when you portray that, you betray that, that's what we're talking about. We don't care about all of that other stuff. We can handle that. We've been trained since children. Am I correct, Derek? To get up and be a man.
Absolutely.
But when you attack, and I understand this, and I've seen this, a lot of women will go further and further and further into the dark because you ain't getting to me. Because you ain't getting under my skin, we're going to take it a step further. We're going to take it a step further. That, talking about my kids, and this is not me. Talking about my kids, that wasn't the first strike. The first strike was, fuck you, you ain't shit. That was the first one. Oh, you think you such and such? You ain't such and such. That was the second one. I'm good. You see, you ain't piercing my skin. So we're going to go further. We're going to go further. We're going to go deeper. And we're going to go deeper and deeper. When is the point to whereas we just can't do that? Because like I said, when you do that, you will never get that man ever again. It's over. Because when I give you my intimate details and who I am and how I am, when I give you that person,
and I also think it depends
of course it depends on the person. I'm not going to do that. That's obvious. I mean, we wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't a person. I mean, but my point is, once you go deeper and deeper and deeper, now it's to a point to whereas, like I said, I can never be vulnerable with you ever again, because you're going to use my most vulnerable state against
you. Dug yourself a hole that you can't dig yourself out of.
And exactly, and I can never trust you again because you're going to use that against me.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never do that. There's some people that I would never have certain conversations with because I know that is a possibility or a thought process, and you may have changed as a person. I don't know. But for me, to protect me, because providing and protecting ain't just providing and protecting for you, it's providing and protecting myself. I'm going to protect me. And the way that I'm going to protect me is I'm never going to give you this information ever again, because I don't know if you'll ever use that against me, and I don't trust you. So women, if you can hear me, stay away from that
At
nonsense.
that point, just break up.
If that's what you choose to do, I say get the work that you need, get the counseling,
It
get
is.
everything that you need.
At that point, it's just a break up.
Even if it's a
No, because
breakup.
your feelings are your feelings. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Once you take it there ain't no coming back from it.
No, I agree. I
So you might
agree.
as well just do your split and
No, I agree. But the human behavior, I mean, the us being humans, it doesn't stop at just us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so now what I'm saying is fix the situation or fix the issue, because you're going to go into the next situation if we don't have that A word that Derek was talking about. If there's no accountability, you're just going to, piss and shit on the next person. If there's no accountability. So you got to do the work. If this is what you do every time you get upset, and you're going to pick and choose the most heinous thing, or the most thing that you should protect the most to hurt this person, you got a problem. You got a problem. So you need to correct that before you get with somebody else and do the same exact thing to them, because there's too many men that's talking about women using their mouths as weapons.
Oh.
So there's not a lot of correction that's being done, because you're just going to the next person, the next person, the next person. And instead of dealing with accountability, all you're doing is ending one relationship and getting into the next relationship and doing the same exact thing that you did into the last one. So a lot of our women, we need that counseling, that correction, the same as we needed with the men. And I'm totally in agreement with that, because this conversation comes up way too much about attitude and fighting with your mouth.
And we're not saying that fighting with your mouth is a bad thing. It's just how you.
okay, I'm gonna personally say this about me. Because what I'm gonna say is I fight with everything. So I don't fight with just my mouth. No, I'm only playing. We have to come up to the end of this podcast. We got about 8 more minutes, and we're gonna wrap this puppy up. So these 8 minutes, Derek and Sean, lead the women into the light. Let us know. Let us know what we can do to make it easier for men to want to open up, to want to be vulnerable with us in these 8 minutes.
You got a cup too? You got a cup too? The cup brothers.
Derek got a cup. Get the hell out of here. Go. Sean got the wrong cup.
Who said that? No, I don't. Oh, I'm not. My cup is over there on the thing.
Let me
And you know what, cousin? I don't think we have to do all.
Cup. I expect you.
I got it. It's right there. It's right there. I don't think. But going into what you're saying, I don't think we have to do all of that. I really don't. Just watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
No.
You see? You see what I mean?
Respect. The same
They
thing
talking
with
trash. That talks to the other people.
the
Don't
same
talk to me.
thing. It's the same thing, like Rashawn said. It's about
I'm gonna
respect.
get my cup.
It's about respect. If you truly and honestly respect me, then you're gonna respect me in every hat that I wear, right? So when I'm being vulnerable, you're gonna respect me. When I change that hat and now I'm the man and gotta put my foot down, you're gonna keep that same amount of respect. The respect is gonna go across the board. The difference is that y'all choose when y'all want to respect us.
I got
So I think that's the
you.
big.
Y'all out here in social media, well, y'all hear Derek, because y'all know, and Derek already know me. Baby, you got a handful over here.
There's a certain level of respect. And Tyra will be the first one. She'll be the first one to tear you down. Them lips right there is vicious. She will tear you down and won't think twice of it. She's a trained. That's what she is. A trained assassin.
No, I only do that when you mess with me first. If I feel disrespected, you gonna be disrespected. Simple. I'm a big believer. I'm gonna make you feel how you make me feel. So if you want me to watch my mouth, then you gotta watch yours. Yes, there go the cup. But I'm a big believer in if I'm gonna make you feel how you make me feel. So if you make me feel some type of way, I'm gonna meet you there. I'm gonna meet you right where you at. And it's not gonna be productive. So, but that's just me. And I'm not gonna change how I am because I'm just not. So
well, the Bible says to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if we all take that to heart and say, you know what, I'm gonna treat people the way I want to be treated, then we'll all. But once again, to have that mindset, number one, you got to have some sense of accountability.
Absolutely.
And most folk will not be accountable, and they will not take accountability for saying, okay, I treat people this way, so I expect them to treat me the same way. You don't hear people like you who say,
every toxic word that come out of
if you disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you. Life has become so transactional, tit for tat. You do to me, I do to you, and so forth and so forth. When life is supposed to be, I'm going to take the high road and do this despite how you treat me.
No.
We're no longer doing despite how you treat me anymore. Now we got teachers that say, keep the same energy and keep that energy and protect my peace. And we have gone quite selfish in our mindset, and because we have gone selfish in our mindset, the more selfish you become with your mindset, the less accountable you hold yourself to. Accountability that you hold yourself to. But that's a whole nother topic.
Go ahead, Sean.
No, that what Derek said is I totally agree with. It takes me back to the statement where they say fight fire with fire, right? No, you fight fire with water. I'm a fireman. Trust me, that's not the way it works. You fight fire with water, and we totally got away from it. But with that being said, we have the same way that we protect women and we protect their feelings, we protect their emotions, we protect them mentally and physically and emotionally and spiritually. We have to understand that we have to do the same for men, because it's not a good thing to attack men because you're just a woman, and it should be okay. And I should be able to smack him, and I should be able to punch him in the face, and I should be able to say something to him that I want to say to him. I should be able to hurt his feelings. I should be able to say all of these different things, because what's going to happen is it's going to happen to your son, and you ain't going to be happy when it happened to your son, because now you ain't going to be talking about that about my baby. You ain't going to be putting your hand on my baby. You ain't going to be such and such with my baby. But at the same time, you did it yourself over and over and over and over.
To somebody else's baby.
To somebody else's baby. So back to what you said, Derek. Treat people the way that you want to be treated yourself. So with that being said, how I always say,
wait, don't do that, because I want to drop something that's popping my head. And when you pop that, we don't need to. Ain't nothing else needs to be said after that piece. My last piece, going off of what the jewels that my bros dropping right here, is protection. A lot of women don't understand. Back in the day, women protected their men. So it was never a factor of, I never saw my father cry. I never saw my dad cry, because I'm more than sure if they had a conversation with their mother for real, they would say, the mother would tell them about the countless nights that she held him as he cried, and many times that she rubbed his back. And so he had a safe space to cry in her, so he didn't have to cry in front of anybody else. She made a home safe for him to be vulnerable behind closed doors, so nobody else had to see it. So then when you meet these women who don't know how to handle men being vulnerable, is because they don't understand what it truly means to create a home behind closed doors, that a man can be vulnerable so that he can be strong and manly outside of that door. And with that being said, take it home, Sean.
let's get back to family, as we should.
Okie dokie. So thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate your conversation. As y'all can see, I kept my mouth shut. So I respected the two male co-hosts today. So we hope to see y'all next week, same time, same place, with a brand new topic next week. I don't know who topic it is. It may be Sean's, it may be Derek's. I can't remember. But y'all have a great night. Have a lovely rest of your week. We'll see you Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Love, peace, and blessings.